Wassail, beautiful people. So I'm doing a series of short videos, hopefully. Short, remind myself that I said short. About the 12 columns and the selections I make from the planet and the asteroid list to assist me in my philosophical meditation during this eclipse tunnel season. So Monas Hieroglyphica is column 12, card 75. It's core magic. Obviously 75 is also a 12. This is sacred geometry. It's a masterclass in secret arcana, wisdom, a unity of the cosmos coming into an alignment. So this is the day after the lunar eclipse, and a lunar eclipse, because it's a full moon, is about release. And so for this one, I've chosen Phallus because part of the Phallus frequency is the law of unintended consequences. And on the back, when you become I am aware, which is the aim of my day's meditation and thought process, it's living by the law of intended consequences. So instead of having an unintentional consequence of any form of mystical, esoteric or magical alignment that I feel I'm achieving, I want to go into that energy. I want to teach myself to go into that energy with intended consequences, not leaving room for maneuver. It feels like I'm throwing a huge energy in at the very start of column 12, which is the day after the full moon lunar eclipse. And full moons are about releasing things. And so over the next 12 days towards the total eclipse of the sun, we're moving through the dark of the moon, so we're releasing more and more, and that's the purpose of this exercise. Phallus has Taurus and Ophiuchus as part of its core energies. And what I'm thinking here today, as I look at those two cards, is that Ophiuchus is the bolt from the blue, the energy from our higher, other interdimensional selves, aspects of us, being fixed into fixed earth. So it's about bringing the energy and fixing it down into the earth. It's interesting because there is a sense of opposition within Taurus and Ophiuchus, almost, because Ophiuchus is a time period that kind of crosses between what we would call Scorpio and Sagittarius. It's also the nervous system and the acceptance of fate creation. Yes, the acceptance of fate creation, but my mind is thinking there's always two endings as options here. There's always that chance of not succeeding where you intend, that unintended consequence. So it's really about working out how I focus and align myself to bring in intended consequences. So I am foolhardy or I am wise is on the back. And there's this sense of the raw masculine in divine clothing. So there's that destructive energy pretending to be good energy. So moving past that, not being disruptive in my own life, the world around me, the lives of others, and to not be recklessly in command of limited magic, because magic is a mysterious energy. Core magic is the energy within us, and it's through aligning with your interdimensional aspects. And remember, you are on very many layers of interdimensional aspects. There is this sense of wanting to understand how to align those frequencies, because the world of magic works through us, core magic, sacral magic. And by aligning, you allow the veil to lift so that you can see the intention of your desires, I guess, is what we're saying here. So on the back of Phallus is I am aware or I am asleep. So this really is a chance to wake up. So I'm thinking I have to spend today walking around awake to core magic, to lift the veil and see through the veil. Now, the best way to work on this is to consider nature. The natural world is the best place in which magic can totally reveal itself. And there's an energy on here, the refusal to accept wisdom, secret wisdom, esoterica. So there's a resistance there that has to be overcome by me during the course of today. To be aware is to be the keeper of personal secrets, which is quite funny because here I am sharing my personal thoughts, but it's also this energy of living by the law of intended consequences. So it's a great place, I feel, for me to start, because it's like, what are the consequences I intend to experience during this exercise in the eclipse tunnel when time moves in a different way? So I'm going to just quickly shuffle the Liffruma deck and see what advice might assist me as I go through today. As I say, I want to keep these short, so 3 minutes. Interesting. Elks has come up immediately. This talks about versatility. This talks about approaching things that scare you and knowing, trusting that you won't reach out your hand to the natural world and be bitten. So that's part of, you see, and that's interesting, because the other day when I did that video with all of nature around me, there were moments where there was a discomfort around the energy of the fox, especially when it went underneath the table. There was a slight energy where I considered the possibility of being bitten by it. But that's like an old programming within us. So, I mean, it didn't bite me. I really didn't believe it would. But it's that point where these moments of doubt come in that allow the energy of the alternative ending, the unintended consequence, to come in. So I'm now just quickly shuffling the Musical Alchemy of Astrology deck. Oh, absolutely perfect. Moon in Sagittarius and Chiron. Look, Chiron is where this is heading on the total solar eclipse on the 8th. At 19 degrees of Aries, in conjunction with the sun and the moon. The moon in Sagittarius is the new philosophical mission, the storybook writer. It's telling me this is a time, this eclipse tunnel, to write the story I want to lead. Lean in to create. Don't imagine that creation is done by something outside of yourself. You have to participate. We have to participate. I have to participate in the creation of the future now that I want to live. This is tameless expansion, the opportunity for expansion. Scene-changing optimism. I am qualified. I am unskilled. I don't want to look at the unskilled. I release the unskilled as part of today's exercise. I am qualified. State of pronoia. You see, that's been playing on my mind recently. I constantly live in a state of pronoia, which is the opposite of paranoia. It's this energy of believing that the cosmos is conspiring in your favor and galloping with the flow. Mind-expanding knowledge seekers is the energy on the back, and trusting your harmonic independence. So the story you write is your harmonic independence. And then we have Chiron, be healed, the 13-string lyre of Olympus. Again, this is Ophiuchus. So this really is about connecting and aligning myself during this column 12 day with other aspects of myself, believing, trusting in the energy of intended consequences. Material and esoteric realm straddler, and that's really what I'm being asked to do here, to straddle realms and to have faith and accept that my primal wounds can be healed through the shadow healing work that I've been doing. And again, this is the nervous system. So it's giving me that energy that's encouraging me to work with a sense of calmness. This is the civilizer. I am healed. Standing in my full truth, or your full truth. Aligning your nervous system and spine, and easing neurological pathways between body and mind. Moon in Sagittarius is exactly that. A new philosophical mission to move you into a new harmonious state of being. So that's my thoughts on the energies that I'm going to be working with today. I'm not saying you should pick Follis. You need to pick what feels right for you, and then journal your thoughts at the beginning of the day, and then at the end of the day ask yourselves how well you did. And then tomorrow we'll move on to column 11. Wassail.